This piece is called Passive Smoking. All the biology textbooks I've read tell me genetics has a funny way to creep up on you. My father was always glad that I did not inherit his curly hair that he hid under a cap for years until it was pulled straight, else his sisters would call him adopted again. Genetics has a funny way to creep up on you. He was born in a family where cigarettes were passed down generations like DNA and tobacco rolled into a paper made from the bark of my family tree. Genetics has a funny way to creep up on you. My mother, I inherited her eyes, her cheekbones, and her chin. But there's a constant battle between my parents over who have I inherited the smarts from. My father's arrogance is shot down by my mother's silent stares. His father was a passive smoker, and so is he. The other day I was sitting across my brother with him holding a cigarette in his hand. Genetics has a funny way to creep up on you. My ancestry is a cross between an episode of the Flintstones and Mad Men, where they strike stones, but only to replace the matchsticks that light cigarettes in a manner that is perfected by the men in my family in the womb. Now these stones are puzzles, lost, and thrown at the trees with the fruits on them, flung out of frustration. Now these stones, they've been flung at my family tree, and every time I look at the veins passing through my hands, I can make out the smoke involuntarily passing through my veins. There's more ash on the branches from members who've passed away than smoke that is consumed by my parents. My lips have been beds to cigarettes like they've been to emotions which sleep a little longer just to avoid looking at a loved one in the face. Genetics has a funny way to creep up on you. I have absorbed not just packs worth of smoke, but the art of passive love practiced in my family. My father and I, we have the same thin, long arms, but they don't greet each other. One doesn't say hello to the other, not collide behind backs while hugging. Instead, they support our short mouths that I haven't said I love you to anyone for weeks on end. Love is that flammable liquid dipped in our gardens generations ago. A stagnant stutter hanging loosely between the chambers of the heart with a thread of inheritance. Some hearts do the opposite of pumping, where they're clogged with love. Maybe this isn't about chasing after lovers, calling it a sprint on still-lit cigarette butts. Maybe we just have to accept we have enough fire within us to transform every drop of nicotine in our lungs into fireflies. My father always told me, son, you would love your grandfather. There was a lot to learn from him. He would not pack his love in uneven little boxes and call it emotional baggage and call it the family name. Thank you.